Cash App owes you 2,500. Talking about the Cash App owes you 2,500. There was a data breach in summary. There was a data breach, and this data breach was filed or followed by a lawsuit. And the lawsuit basically covers anyone from a certain date, I believe of August 2016 to 2019 or 2021, when the data breaches are allegedly um, supposed to have had happened while all of that was going on. So, anyways, now there was a deadline. All right. Now, some people say, well, you missed the deadline. Yes, you missed the deadline. Okay. However, and this is not legal advice, this is lawful awareness. I love how this other guy says this is just growing in our awareness of the law and educational purposes. Okay. You definitely do your research. What I have done, like some of us have done, is we have made a reconsideration letter. Okay. So, for example, you can look this up. I'm going to look this up on my Chat GPT here, and I give you the way it has basically put everything into steps and how it worded a letter, for example. Okay, so the settlement in law, you need to know that there is something. Let me see. Is this it? Okay, this is it. All right. So there is something in law. Okay, I'm going to read the letter right now. So we tell the commands we give Cash App is you are a secure party creditor or you are, more importantly, the power of attorney representing the social, right? And we need them to reconsider the settlement. All right, just plainly reconsider settlement. Hey, this is called communication. Hey guys, I want you to reconsider, the settlement, even though the whole thing is closed. I know that we did not get adequate adequate notice. Now, that word adequate notice, okay? I had to basically first find out about this. And basically, what I did was I Googled, okay, can you resubmit a letter for a settlement that was closed? And then that's how I found my information, okay? So, yeah, of course you can. It's called communication. Hello, okay? So, this is the example it gives. Dear Settlement Administrator, this correspondence is submitted on behalf of name of entity slash individual, represented by our attorney in the capacity of authorized representative and POA. The purpose of this communication, yada, yada, yada. Okay, what I want you guys, we're not going to read the whole entire thing, all right? We're going to actually go into certain things it mentioned that was very important that you should start researching when it comes to understanding what you could do in for something like this or for anything else in the future that has a data breach, that might have a data breach. Because the people in the virtual world and their CPUs and little tech stuff is a little excessive sometimes. Anyways, the way they do things, the way people do things. So, for example, it says, due to extenuating circumstances, here's what the letter says. Due to extenuating circumstances beyond the control of yada, 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 all right, there is something called due process principles. I'm going to repeat that. There's something called due process principles. Once again, there is something called the due process principles as established in Mullane versus Central Hanover Bank and Trust Code 1950. You can look up the case. And it says that in summary, notice, and in this case, when it comes to the settlement, notice, if you didn't get the notice, there were circumstances that didn't allow you to get the notice, plain and simple. So the notice must be reasonably calculated. Now, this is hyphenated, okay, or in quotations. Look up in law, go to Google right now and type in law. What does reasonably calculated mean? Okay. there you'll find the meaning, and then you can say what law supports this. Oh, my bad. What uniform code? What uniform commercial code? What UCC law states this? Fair dealing. When we come up to something called Uniform Commercial Code, general definitions, all right? And then the letter we have, and so what these settlements are, for example, to understand here, you have to understand that these settlements, it's all commerce, right? We know this. That should be like on the foundation already. It's all commerce, it's contracts. Cool. So even settlements are contracts. When lawsuits, those are contracts that are being created and enclosed, okay, with a result. Okay. The result in this case is the settlement. Now, when you're making a or considering or looking how to make a letter to send off to these companies to reconsider your case, okay, it's important to know that there are already cases that support this. And when you go read these cases, guarantee you will see that certain codes and laws will be mentioned. It is your responsibility to look up those codes and laws. Okay. So essentially, in summary, that's all you really have to do. All right. In order to know what actions you want to take. Okay. Because some of us, we hear, for example, oh, we can make a reconsideration letter for equitable remedy. What? Oh, let's do it. How do I write that letter? I'm not going to tell you how to write the letter because even though the letter is written, if you don't understand the principal laws behind this, there's no point in having the letter. Okay? You won't be able to delegate and project your message clearly. All right. It will have that little bit of energy of doubt. Oh, I don't know if I can do this right or not. Okay. You want to make sure you understand exactly and understand what's actually going on, how this relates to contracts, how this relates to consumer law. So let's go and refine our search. In consumer, let's use ChatGPT. Okay. What UCC codes and laws of commerce relate to this? If one question doesn't work, you ask a different one. Okay, another way. So the UCC 103, construction of UCC to promote its purpose. This section allows commercial law to be supplemented by common law principles such as equity, estoppel, and good faith. Right. The next one is UCC 1201, definition of security interest and a controlling party. Okay. Now, again, what is this controlling party for those who don't know? Okay. Remember, you are a free living man, living woman. So you are already mentioned by the IRS website and the federal websites that you are the living man who can decide who is the authorized representative of that business card, I would like to call it, called your social. Okay? It's a business card. All right? So if that is the case, then obviously when we're sending these letters, we're not representing ourselves as the entity because that's not even allowed. That's not even what they are telling you to do in the IRS website or federal law. You are the living man, living woman who gets to appoint POA, power of attorney, to that entity. Period. Okay? Read it. Read it. I shared it in my previous video and I also shared it in my um yeah, on the link in the description in the previous video, the link so you can go read this. Exactly what I'm talking about. So you would be the power of attorney, the controlling party, the security interest, secured interest, controlling party of the security interest. Okay? Controlling interest party, my bad. CIP. All right? And that is what gives you the power to delegate authority. A controlling interest party may have the power to enforce agreements and delegate authority. Now, Let's look up a little bit. There you go. Look up final thoughts. Let's see. Let's ask it a different question. Let's go with this one. Adequate notice. What law speaks about adequate notice? So here we go. Use your tools, ladies and gentlemen. Use your tools, because the other old-fashioned way is you just read these things and then you ask the questions yourself, and then you have to just you'll filter it out yourself. And this is a good filter tool. Okay. So the legal principle of adequate notice is established. Okay, let me pause this music because this ain't helping me right now. Anyways, that was too much. So the legal principle of this adequate notice is established in constitutional law, due process, and contract law. I'm gonna say that again: constitutional law, due process, and contract law. Okay, ensuring that individuals and entities receive fair warning before legal actions affect their rights. All right. A legal action could be a legal action that just says, okay, case closed. All right, we're not taking any more settlements. Or an adverse letter that says, sorry, we don't want to do this. So some people will stop at, oh, we don't want to do this. They got the adverse letter. They don't not going to reconsider. Okay, well, you go ahead and you do all that you can. Make sure you understand what it is you need to do, all right, before you take the action, so that it is done appropriately with the right attitude. I'm gonna say that part again. It needs to be done appropriately with the right attitude, the right energy. You can't just go gun ho on this. They're like, yeah, fuck you guys. No, no. You have to put it with the right kind of energy. All right, everyone knows this because we have written to plenty of people before we text. I don't do text too much. Well, I mean, yeah, online. But people text, you comment, all right, and there's an energy and attitude in how you say things, okay? And of course, these things are straight business. Straight business. Their mentality is straight business. This person knows what we're talking about. Oh no, it's a minor. Okay, next. They don't know. Look at the words they're using. Blah 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 blah. No. Okay. You don't go with a bad attitude and fuck you guys. You go with respect. You go with good faith. That's what it's called, good faith. Good faith is definitely mentioned in law, okay, in contract law and credit transactions. Okay, you can look up good faith and credit transactions and then go read the laws, right? So, anyways, so that's the perspective, or that's not perspective, but that is a perspective for one of the things, some of the things to consider when in the case of this Cash App settlement that people are talking about. Okay. Yes, the deadline is closed, but you can go ahead, communicate with the company. Okay. Establish yourself first that you are the power of attorney and the authorized representative. Know that. You need to know that. So go into the IRS website on my previous video. Go into the federal law website. I believe it's on there as well on my previous video, and read and look at the words that they're mentioning. Okay, you individual are already a recognized man, living woman. So take some responsibility and keep learning as you go. All right, y'all, that's all I have for y'all. Not much. Remember, I'm not an expert here. This isn't legal advice. This is a lawful awareness and things to consider. This is educational things to consider when we want to do better or be better in how we do business and how we contract, or how we choose, or not having a contract. Because you could just be like, oh well, okay, I don't care about the settlement. Yeah, okay, you can make the money. Go ahead. Don't worry. You got a good flow. That's fine. You don't gotta worry about it. All right, go. But hey, you can use it. Why not? See the beauty in that. And then from that perspective and from that point, go ahead and take the actions necessary. Study and write the letters that needs to be done. Make the papers. Um, Put the notifications up. Send the notifications. All right. Make sure good communication. All right, and good attitude is, and good faith attitude is in this. All right. That's why you gotta listen to the word good faith. Good faith isn't just like, oh, faith in the other person. No, it's good faith with your connection in the Most High, life, God, however you want to call it, a good faith. So if I write a letter with good faith, it will reflect in how I present it. It will reflect in the things that are mentioned. It will reflect in the words and the laws. All right. So, and the way it's written. So that's all I have. Namaste and kudos to y'all. Keep learning. Peace.